And what brings you here? It almost seems like you wanted to be captured the way that you were going over and on about things. Now you're tied up on your knees, which, if I'm being honest with you, it quite suits you. You look quite good down there. Care to massage my feet while we're here? It's only a jest, as that would be extremely against regulations. After all, I don't know where you've been. Why would I know that? We've only just met, haven't we? Unless it's something more than that. I'm joking. I know that we've known each other for a while. Noblesse oblige, is it? Or do you prefer being called the Phantom Thief? You see, I've been on to you for a very, very long time, just wondering when my fold would get caught. But to think you would land at my feet tied up like this, wrapped up like a gift for me. It's almost disappointing. I thought you would give me a run for my money. I thought you would be interesting enough to at very least keep yourself away from me. Come now. What is a game of cat and mouse if you go and get yourself caught so easily? No, that's not how we do things. Listen to me, and listen well. You know who I am. I'm the detective that's been on your case for so long now. What is it, 5 years? 6? Who cares about what the time limit is? You've been the most fascinating villain to me. Something of a unique case for me. Are you even aware of how many times I could have caught you? I let you go so many times because I wanted to see where your crazy little story ended up. Newspaper articles are always so much better when you have a story to tell. You see, I may be the detective charged with catching you, but it's so disappointing that you got caught so mundanely. I expected great things from you. Can't you at least sympathize with my disappointment? What an imbecile. Getting caught at a random little red light, running it in your vehicle. That's not even what got you caught. No, this story is much more pathetic than that. As you are right now, very suitable for it, I might as well explain it to you. You see, it wasn't the red light, it wasn't even those articles of clothing you have on you. No, not even the other outfit that you have in your apartment that I've seen 6 times. No, not even that record you kept of all of those thefts you've done in the past that I have right here. Surprised? You shouldn't be. You were sloppy from the get-go, but you always had that heart in the game. You always had something that I wanted to dive into. Something I wanted to know more about you. Much more. You see, detectives at the higher end of society, the ones that are above you and I, or at least you, are quite the peculiar types. You see, we like to entice the chase. We like to see where it goes. Each criminal, a story unfolding like a book. Everything when you get to predicting it ahead of time, 10 steps ahead of the chess match of life, you just end up bored of things, right? You end up a psychopath as bad as the criminals, or maybe even worse. Have you noticed you're not at a precinct? You're in a dark room with a single light blaring in your eyes. With me, a faceless detective that you no doubt have never seen before, right? Oh, you've seen me. Remember the mailman? Maybe the Uber Eats driver? Which was it? Which one do you remember my face of? I was so many people to you. Maybe you remember me as your boyfriend? That's right. Karma Akabane, if you wish to call me that. But it's different. This kind of karma isn't the kind that you can get in a mere romance novel, nor one that's suitable for the suspense of a drama. No, this is about to be a tragedy, not because I'm going to lay a finger on you, but because you're going to beg me to do anything but what I'm going to. And that's because your pride is on the line as much as your, well, everything else. The reason why you're tied there is my own amusement. Like I said, detectives tend to be a different sort. You almost could call us criminally bored of life. I'm the best, and you're an interesting case. You see right here, this magnificent little story you've woven. How many people you fooled, how many imbeciles who are beneath me, who are scratching their heads in frustration. You've lit this fire all under the ass of this city. You should be proud. Even if all of those people are imbeciles, you still manage to be in the top 0.0001%. Now, if that makes you that, then I'm in the top 0.00000001%. If you didn't catch that, I'm much, much smarter than you. Also, probably more handsome, gorgeous, and otherwise. But the difference being is you have a charm that's different than most petty criminals. You have the guts to actually take on the world in such a way. Which is why I've taken you, well, with your dignity intact. You think I'm here to harm you? Why would I? What's the purpose? Think greater. Outside of the box, maybe? You're smart enough to understand my intentions, surely. It can't be that you're this brainless, is it? Prove me wrong. Go ahead. I'm waiting for it. You look baffled. It's an interesting but suitable expression for someone on their knees, tied up from head to toe. So, if you want to know, it's going to cost you. Kiss my foot. After all, I'm the master of your life now. Whatever I say goes, until you're free from those ropes and free from this room. You don't even know where we are, what country, what place in the world, what fate waits you beyond that door that you can see. Can't you understand the intricate delicacy of psychological torture? No? That just makes it more fun, doesn't it? Grovel for me. Kiss that foot real good, like it's your lover, because from now on it might be. You're cute when you're groveling. It's suitable only in the sense that you have fallen so far, my dear. The phantom thief groveling at the feet of someone so much greater that you never knew was already a part of your life. How does your dear boyfriend look now? Now that you see past the facades, the smoke and mirrors, do you still have feelings for me? I'm dying to know. Not so keen on telling me how you feel. Is it embarrassment, or is it just shame on the fact that you're kissing your former boyfriend's feet, the one you thought you were going to spend forever with? But not to disappoint you too much, you probably will spend forever with me. You think those feelings were all fake? No. What would a story be without real, true emotion behind it? It wouldn't be anything at all. You see, I never really toyed with you more than the obvious. I didn't tell you full truths, but I told you plenty that still are withstanding. You look so deliciously betrayed. Am I too mean? Should I say I love you first before making you kiss my feet? Come now, we both know the truth in it. You would do anything for me, right? You said it back then. What's different now? The only difference is we're more honest with each other. Now you know who I am, and I've always known who you are. It's fair, right? Oh, you think you fell for me normally? Just wait until you see how deep this pit of sadistic wonder goes. Well, it's not necessarily sadism. It's more like finding this story, how to turn to the next page. That's the moniker I would go by. I'm not being rude to you. I'm not abusive. I'm conducive to a good, healthy relationship after we've sorted these kinks out of it. You think so too, don't you? Come on. You look the part at least. Like you want to know more. Like you want to feel more too. Well, I could appease you in multiple ways, but first things first, we have to get to our story, don't we? You want to know so many things, so ask away. Why? Simply why? That's all you're going to ask. Such a vague question with everything on the line. You're just asking me why I'm doing this, why I'm like this, which one? You're going to have to either... No. Never mind. I won't even make you specify. The reason why, the answer is fun. The answer is satisfaction. The answer is you. You're something different than most people. Not only are you pretty smart, even if you're an idiot, you still have redeeming qualities that are so good. You see, you satisfy that carnal need I need to pick on something, to take something away from you and give it back to you, to handle every facet of your life and give you that happiness with strings attached. See, it's not bad, it's not terrible, it's just life. How it should be, right? But I feel bad giving you the book answer, so I'll give you the heart answer. I never stopped caring about you, and because I cared about you is the exact reason why you're here and not at the precinct. Do you think a detective like me doesn't pull some strings when it's my baby involved? Hey, baby. You look cute in ropes, just saying. What a cute little rope bunny, huh? But my own selfish satisfaction aside, you know what they would do to you if I turned you in? We're on opposite sides of the law, you and I. I would get a medal for this. I'd get clout from so many people that I just don't care about. But honestly, I'd be on the front page of every newspaper, just like you've been for the past 6 months. Did you think that your escapades wouldn't shake the world? You stole the Mona Lisa. Then you stole... What was the next one? Oh, right. Some Da Vinci pieces other than that. You stole a whole lot of history. Things that can't be replaced. Honestly, my favorite of your heists was probably when you stole the Dead Sea Scrolls right from under their noses. Or when you stole the Pope's... What was it? Oh, right. The Pope's underwear. What an unholy thing to do, but what a funny story it made. He didn't want it to go public, but I had to pull some strings there because I wanted the world to know that some big, powerful figure was groveling on his knees in embarrassment, apologizing to the clergy just the same way they're preaching to the choir. Not to slight their religion or anything, just people with power and drunk on it, you know? You did a good job silencing their pride. For someone so base and so unintelligent, I thought that they would be more apt to admit when they were wrong, but you didn't stop until they were crying, screaming for mercy. But in reality, what you did was much more subtle, and I just pulled the strings to make it look worse. It's what it should be. Oh, don't be that way. I've always been the fold to your success. Haven't you noticed those coincidences? Do you honestly believe it was luck that landed you through all those would-be sticky situations? You're welcome to believe that, of course, but I could prove otherwise with documentation, cold hard evidence, you name it. I manipulated crime scenes for you. In fact, if everything I did came to light, I might be in a worse situation than you for the mockery I've made of the criminal justice system, as well as the forensics team. Oh, do you remember that one time when you thought, wow, I made this huge mistake and I accidentally got someone hurt, right? You remember that guy who disappeared mysteriously? Well, let's just say he visited this place too. It was quite difficult for him, though. He was under worse circumstances than you, and I didn't particularly like the fellow, so I handed him to a different country. We labeled him as a criminal, and so to speak, he's been serving his time. Well, for being too nosy. He was just a bit too smart and he was going to expose you. So I exposed him first. Turns out his search history online was quite bad. He had a run-in with something illegal and that's where his career was over. But I couldn't persecute him here. It would look too bad if it was in our country. Too manipulative. So I got him caught on foreign charges. I made him do something he couldn't undo. Unfortunately for him, now that means life in prison without parole. What's he going to do? Talk behind the bars about some nonsense he's raving? Truth be told, I even prepared for that. I have some people to silence him, threaten him, and make his life generally not the best if he opposes me ever again. You know what I think the most satisfying part of doing something beyond the law, outside of it? It's that when you inevitably tell them that you're the one responsible for their suffering, there's nothing they can do. Truth be told, they can't even lift a finger. It's already far too late. But the satisfaction of seeing their expression when you finally tell them it was you who stabbed them in the back for no other purpose than to save a criminal you are both supposed to be hunting, former partners, everything. The look on his face was amazing, satisfying, but not as satisfying as you. If I'm honest, your expression is so much better. You thought I was an upstanding gentleman working for a construction company, but now you see that I'm an upstanding fellow working in the crime division, a detective, a prodigy of sorts. I was a detective way back when. In fact, I started 16 years ago. It's amazing, I know. I started at such a young age, but now I'm something much bigger than then, but so much more bored. That's why I thought, why not crack the entire system of fabricated justice on its head? And that's why I kidnapped you before they would get to you. I had to make an alibi, and now you're gone. This right here is the last proof that you ever existed. Thank me later. You see, I did take a liking to you. Truth be told, I never thought of you as less than my love. In fact, you were a great waste of time for the time that we pretended to date. If it could be considered to be pretend in the first place, well, I would argue it was real to a certain extent, and that's why you're here and not rotting in jail. And there's worse fates than that, right? But I've made sure that the people who are smart enough to get to you couldn't really bother us because I've got dirt on them. They don't even know I have it. They don't need to, because the best dirt to have on someone is one where they feel completely safe but unsettled by one thing, those subtle remarks, that subtle presence that puts them in their place. That's me, darling. You see, I'm going to be that force. I figured, why keep making this facade of what things could be, of what justice is supposed to be, this fake order of the world, and let's make it into something else, right? So, you're going to become, drumroll please, a legend, the greatest thief in all of history. And I'm going to make sure you never get caught. Provided you don't do something colossally stupid that I can't fix. In which case, then it's on you and I would have to forget about you. But I would much rather that doesn't happen. Do you know why? It's quite simple, really. I enjoy this wondrous little thing we call love. We call excitement. I crave it, and nothing seems to help me like you do. Call it something as base or as simple as this or that, but it's more than that. It's love. Is this not romance, that I would go so far just for you, that I would ruin someone's life that I'm supposed to consider a friend, all in your name? Pretty romantic for a man of my sort, isn't it? Your expression is priceless. It's different. I think I like that look on you. I can't tell if it's amazement, amusement, or shock, or maybe something of the three, and maybe you like that I'm being a bit more honest with you. After all, we couldn't grow as a couple if I wasn't honest with you. You weren't fully honest with me either. We both had our deep, dark secrets, so I'd say we're even now. Other than the obvious differences in our, well, you know the rest. No, don't give me that look. You'll just make me satiated. Oh, but then again, I wouldn't want you to be disappointed in the slightest. So you should just relax, and for now, tell me what you think of my master plan. Any questions? Concerns? You can ask them if you want. I'm not above you in the sense that I want to be some domineering presence that doesn't listen to you. No, that would be boring. After all, we'll be partners in crime and justice. You'll be my partner and I'll be yours. What you do, I'll make sure gets sensationalized. You see, the world is so easy to manipulate when you're 10, 15, 20 steps ahead. It all ends up being a walk in the park, but your methods, your incongruent ways is so interesting to me. It makes me feel like I can do anything, like I can feel again. You see, feeling is not as easy as you think. Geniuses are often lonely people who can connect, but I can connect on you, with you, in such a way. Not because we're equals necessarily, but because you complete me. I don't need someone who's as smart or as gorgeous as me. I need someone who's as interesting, as unpredictable, and so earnest, so truthful that it's almost pitiful. We make a great little team, whether it be in love where we're half liars or love when we're completely truthful, don't you think? It will just add to the spice of life that we so deeply seem to enjoy. Now, the question is what I do with you next, or what you choose to do. Will you comply with this partnership, I wonder? I do wish to know how far you'll go. Kissing me when you can only crawl. Am I to take that kiss to my shin as something more? Or should I give you something more to work with? Here, my love. Oh, you look so cute when you're groveling, though. It's almost a shame to untie you, but all's fair in love and war, even this little conflict. Now that's a kiss. The desperation, the passion, the sheer confusion. I love it. Every little detail of you, it washes over me so delicately, so passionately, so perfectly. This complimentary service, as I untie you, is something else, but the difference being I want you to savor this moment of your captivity with me, because there's so much to enjoy, don't you think? I like having you as my captive audience, and I want to captivate you all the same. Now, shall I savor your company just a bit? Shall I be selfish, even now that I've done you such favors? Would you let me, I wonder? Would you have a choice? That's another question entirely. But right now, the decadence of your gaze is enough to satisfy me. Never say I didn't love you, because I do and I did. And you're cutest when you're bewildered anyways. I could do much worse, and so could you, don't you think? So that was your angle all along. Wanting more kisses, wanting more attention, wanting more of everything. Your needy side is showing, but I don't mind. Allow me to satiate that neediness before I completely free you from your binds. Do you like being all tied up around me? Groveling, or is it just the attention, I wonder? Which one makes you feel it the most? Which one makes you feel most alive? Or is it just the satiation of knowing that at any moment I could ruin everything? Do you like men who are powerful presiding over you, or do you like to take me down with that rebellious tinge? I'd like to see how this unfolds, just the two of us. No distractions, no petty law enforcement to dictate us. I am the law, and you are my criminal to punish. Isn't that right? Savor the attention, the romance, the love. I know you will, won't you? Just for me. You're cutest when you're like this. Cutest when you shiver with excitement. When you don't know what's up and down. When you can't feel your legs. When you lost every little bit of inhibition. That's when you're the cutest. When you look like a deer in the headlights. When you look at me with those eyes. You should relax, otherwise it might hurt, you know. Not too much, though. I'd make sure of that. You know you can trust me a little bit. I did say it was half-truths, and we both were telling them, so it's definitely something, isn't it? The taste, the touch, the feeling. All exquisite when we touch, when we clash like this. Nibbling on your skin never tasted so good, nor did it feel so good. So cute from head to toe, I love it. I savor it. Though with that said, you might want to relax. I did warn you, after all. So relax, baby. And I'll give you a nice massage. Just in the most interesting ways. I'll hold you. I'll give you kisses. And I'll show you that I'm not a man that can't be trusted. That you can rely on me. That you can trust me, and that I won't betray that trust of yours, not even ever. I'll do everything I can to preserve this little romance we have and make sure it's a vibrant one. Exquisite at that. Oh, you're so good, aren't you? Oh, yes. You're so cute like that. That slight desperation, that neediness, that want that keeps flashing behind your eyes. You're so pathetically cute, but so cutely pathetic. But at the same time, I respect you, and I know how much you feel it, and I know how much we feel it, and I know how much the sensation gets to you just as much as me. So cute, so perfect, just that way. I think you might want to relax just a bit more. Relax, get those kinks out of your back. Come on, it's just a pat, just a little bit. And relax a little more so I can spoil you. Come now. We wouldn't want ourselves to get carried away, would we? No. Of course not. No. Carried away would just make us sloppy, wouldn't it? Feelings and desires, never what amounts to an orchestrated plan, is it? Not what we're planning anyways, and I think what we're planning is a little more wonderful, grandiose, and maybe a bit sexy, I dare say.